Good morning, everybody. Here is another video for you. It's aimed at revision for the November resit, but you can, of course, use it to strengthen your skills in answering questions. So this is continuing with the exemplars, the student answers for different questions. And the one we're going to do today is paper 1, question 4. So we're going to go through, as always, just go through every slide. So how to use these example answers. So we know that each question on the paper is graded, and for each grade there is a descriptor. And the examples will look at the question, the grade descriptor, then the written student answer. It's important to look at each part rather than just going to the student answer, because this helps you to get the steps clear in your head, and that will help you write a clear answer. So it's important to look at the question, look at the grade descriptor, and then the student answer. Avoid the temptation to just go to the student answer, because you won't really understand the grade descriptor. So if you can get your head around the different levels of the grade descriptor, it just helps you answer the question better, but also clearer, and actually it raises your confidence. So we're looking at paper 1, question 4. We'll deal with the question in a minute, but let's just look how it's graded. So it's a 15-mark question, and there are 5 levels. And the question asks you how successfully the writer has achieved something. And each level describes the skills. We've got level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And the skills are graded on each level on these descriptors. So at level 1, you've got a description of ideas, events, themes, or settings. And at level 2, 4 to 6 marks, you've got comment on ideas, events, themes, or settings. And there are straightforward opinions with limited judgments. At level 3, the 7 to 9 marks, there is an explanation of ideas, events, themes, or settings with informed judgment. Now you can see that there is a build-up here of how ideas, events, and themes and settings within a text are evaluated. So whether your interpretation of them, your opinion, is straightforward or informed. Informed means that you understand a bit more about what the text is showing. And we've done some of that in the lessons that you've done with me. Even the Stubbs lesson that we did on the horse, the interpretation, that's why we did it, for you to seek a kind of a deeper understanding of what's going on in the text. And then at level 4, 10 to 12 marks, it's an analysis of ideas, events, themes, with well-informed and developed critical judgment. And at level 5, there is an evaluation of ideas, events, themes, and settings, and sustained and detached critical overview and judgment. And all of these obviously have references to the text that are developed and explained in some manner. So those are the levels. So there's quite a few different levels. And let's look at the question that question 4 deals with. So question 4 usually asks how successfully a writer has done something. And we should be looking for success in ideas, events, themes, or settings, and developing our judgments and opinions, and writing about how they are, how they appear in the text. So let's have a look at a student answer. So in this extract, there is an attempt to build tension. Evaluate how successfully this is achieved. So we know that the things that we should be looking for is build tension. So you should circle that, and successfully and achieved, and also evaluate. And of course, you always have to support your views. So I do believe this is the Poe extract again. Right, okay, so this is a level 2, all right? So this is a level 2, so it's 4 to 6. So we're just coming under the halfway mark. Now, the reason I chose level 2 and the other one I've chosen is level 5, because I felt that these 2 grades, the level 2 and the level 5, give you something to move in between. You can move from level 2 up to level 3, up to level 4, and you can see what level 5 is. There's a lot to be gained from looking at level 5. So this is a level 2 answer. And as we can see, for a 15-mark question, it's relatively short. And the student has got 5 marks. So they've come in between the level, between 4 and 6. So the examiner is saying it's a comment on ideas, events, themes, or settings. And there are straightforward opinions with limited judgments. And the selection of references is valid, but it's not developed. So let's look at this. So this short answer I'm going to read. So at the start of the extract, in the first 2 paragraphs, the mood was not calm, but also was not intense. These paragraphs are setting the scene and giving the narrator a reason to worry as the officers come to the door. So this is just comment. It is saying what's going on in the text, but it's not really explaining it greatly. And also, there are no quotations there, yeah? In paragraph 3, the tone, it's always important to refer to tone, calms down as the narrator states, what had I to fear? Well, this is a really good inclusion here, all right? So there is a comment here, but there's no explanation. They just, this happens, this is what it is, this happens, this happens, here's a quotation. There isn't any kind of expounding of ideas. At the end of paragraph 3, the narrator places his own seat upon the spot beneath which there reposed the corpse of the victim, so that he is hiding the body even more. Now, this idea of hiding is good, as if nothing could go wrong. In paragraph 4, the tension builds. So we have got reference to mood and tension, but it's not really explained. I felt myself getting pale, blah, blah, blah. In the 5th paragraph, the narrator begins to go mad right now. So this could have been expanded a little bit more, as the noises he could hear was a beating of his own victim's heart. Well, there's a lot to be, that's a really, really, really good point. And that could be really expanded there in terms of tension, because that's an incredibly tense situation to be in. He convinces himself that the officers can hear it too and that they are mocking him. Again, this is a very good point here. It's well written. The narrator gets madder and madder through the paragraph, building more and more tension as everything seems to the reader that everything is coming to him in a rush. So from the start of the extract to the end, it goes from very calm to very tense. So this is it's an okay answer, without a doubt. And what I would suggest you do with this answer is identify the ideas, events, themes, or settings, and look at them in relation to tension, and think about how you might put in a little bit more. What else can you say about that? And we've done this, for those of you in my classes, we have done this Poe extract. So let's look at what the marker says. The response uses broad evaluative language and offers straightforward opinion. The tension begins to rise and it goes from very calm to very tense. So they're saying that it's just really straightforward. There is comment on the events of the text, that officers come to the door to investigate, that the seat is placed over the body, and that the officers refuse to leave. These could be explained more. That's what I was saying. It could be explained more than they are, then they can move into level 3. So if you explain more, then you move into level 3, okay? So this is a good basis of which to start. There is also comment on the ideas of the text, the change of mood as the extract goes on, and the narrator's change of mindset, although this is only broadly linked to a judgment about the text. To achieve the top level of level 2, the candidate could have used more evaluative language and made opinions more explicit. So this is a good example from which to work and say, at the very least, my answer should look like this. If I write an answer like this, how can I make it better? Well, I would make it better by looking at the ideas, events, themes, or settings in this and look at it in relation to tension and see, actually, what else could I add to that? Right, okay, so we're now going to look at a much longer answer. Now, the way that I've done this is because it's so long and I don't want to, bore you to tears with me just reading it all. I put it into sections. So this is a 15-mark answer. So let's just look at what the examiner says. The answer evaluates the ideas of secrecy, guilt, conscience, along with the events of the extract. So we've got these ideas, secrecy, guilt, and conscience are all ideas. And the overall theme of investigation of the crimes, there's a link there. The answer shows a sustained and detached critical overview of the text where language and structure are commented on. This is to support this overview. There is a discriminating use of reference to persuasively support the points being made. This is full and detailed evaluation of how the purpose of conveying tension is achieved. So this is full mark answer. So let's have a look. So in this first paragraph here, the student has interpreted and linked these concepts of secret, hidden, and intrigue. And if we just think about it for a second, secret relates to something hidden, if we just think about it naturally. And these two things do create a sense of intrigue. So this is how you build a more in-depth answer, by taking these ideas and linking them to literary terms. So intrigue is part of tension, and it's also part of suspense. So the candidate really goes into a lot of detail about secret, hidden, and links them both to intrigue. So very, very detailed. And I would actually go through that and see where it is there. So we've got the secret is shown in the start of the extract, and is described by the writer as by the writer develops tension. Let's have a look at the next page. So as you can see, a very long answer. So in comparison, you know, there's a big difference. So on this, what we get in this paragraph here is that we get contrasting ideas. So are there contrasting ideas in the text on events, themes, or settings? Is there a contrast between light and dark? But contrasting ideas create tension. And this is what the student has written about here, how these contrasting ideas create tension. And then the student then goes on and he talks about, he or she or them they talk about the character's behavior and how the character's behavior creates suspense. So can you see how the student is building this answer of intrigue, tension, suspense? They're all literary terms. And then the student moves on in this last paragraph here on this page to thoughts and feelings, and talks about how those thoughts and feelings affect us as readers and what we see. And then in the final paragraph, they bring it all together by answering what happens at the end of the text. And we know in this Poe extract, at the end of the text, the character is losing their mind. And so the state of mind is explored here. So, you know, the student really, really goes into a lot of detail about these key ideas that they see in the text. And they see these ideas of secret, hidden, they link them to the literary terms, which are intrigue. Then we get contrasting ideas are linked to tension, characters' behavior linked to suspense, and then thoughts and feelings linked to what we experience as readers. And then the final paragraph, where we see the state of mind, is brought together by saying what happens at the end of the text. So what I suggest you do is that you go through these answers and find the themes, events, and in the text. And so find where the student has referred to secret, where the student has referred to hidden, and where they've referred to intrigue. And I would do the same here. Find the contrasting ideas and look at how they've created tension, so you can just highlight them. And then find the character's behavior just by highlighting it, and then highlight the parts that show suspense and look at how they've linked it, and then identify the thoughts and feelings and what the student says about those. And then look at the final paragraph and see what the student says about what happens at the end of the text and relate it to the state of mind. Okay, I hope that that was helpful. Use it to build your answers and skills in answering question 4 on paper 1. I will see you soon. I hope you're all well. If you need me, email me. Bye.